So here are the harsh truths from the very start. If this is something that you want to do, it's going to have to cost you something. So the way to look at this very simply is there are three things it can cost you. It can cost you, let's get some color in here. You know how much I love color in my life. It can cost you time. It can cost you money. Wish I had a pen. This is just on a mouse. Woo! It can cost you time. It looks like a 2-year-old is giving you a tutorial. So making money online can cost you lots of time. It can cost you lots of money, or it can cost you lots of existing skill. So you may have a lot of skill. I come from a background of spending most of my life tinkering with websites and electronic devices and tools online. So I've been doing that since I was a kid. So I come to this with a great deal of skill. I come to this with a bit of money from my business, and I come to this with a lot of time because not a lot of time, but I've created a lot of time by pushing away a number of my classes. But I've worked at home for as long as I can remember. So I come to this with a pretty good balance of these things already. If you have loads of time, but you have no money and you have no skill, then you're going to need a lot more time. If you have no time and no skill, then you better come to this with a lot of money. If you have no time and no money, then you better have a great deal of skill. The more of each of these that you have, the more the other one doesn't matter so much. If you have a great deal of skill and bucket loads of money, then you don't need time. You can outsource the entire thing and you can pay everyone to do it for you, and you've got the skill to know if they're doing it right. And I could go around this again and again and again and show you, but pretty much you're going to come to this either with time, money, skill, or 2 of these or 3 of these. The more of these you've got, the better, and the higher amount of time you have, the larger amount of time you have, the higher amount of money you have, the greater the skill you have, the more likely you are to succeed. So this is where it's really important to not kid yourself. If you are truly starting from scratch, you got zero skill, and you are absolutely flat broke, and you have no time, then what I'd suggest is, this is actually a really good suggestion. Let me just make sure that this is quite large so we can see it, and you might want to write this down. Sorry, so much for suspense. So if you have no time, no money, and no skill, and you want to start making money on money generally, then what I'd suggest is this: get a job. Get a job, because that is what you need. I don't care if it's cleaning cars. I don't care if it's McDonald's. I don't care if it's driving a Lyft or Uber. I don't care if it's folding someone's laundry. If you have no time, no money, and no skill, and you are expecting to make any money online, you are completely deluding yourself. And where you will end up is you will end up in really crappy MLM. You will end up in dodgy pyramid schemes. You'll end up spending much more money than you will ever make. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to be a part of that, and I will not promote it. So if you have no time, no money, and no skill, then what I'd suggest is that you get a job. Okay, that's not being rude. That is being absolutely pragmatic and practical. Go get a job right now. If you have a car, go get it checked with Lyft and Uber and try and grab a job there. You can work as much as you want in that kind of a job. Otherwise, if you're really strapped for cash, you've got time, you got no time, you got no money, you got no skill, then go and ask friends if you can do their laundry, drive their kids to school, babysit, whatever you can to get some money. Because once you can get some money, then you can start to invest in things that are going to give you a little skill. Once you have some money, you can invest in outsourcing, which will give you a little extra time. And once those things are done by someone else, you may make a little more money, and then you can invest in more skill. And now you've got more time, more money, and greater skills. And now you're starting to get to the position where you can actually invest in something that's going to make you money online. Because honestly, if you can't do that, you need to go get a job. And the only way you're going to make any money online is the same way that you make any money in a business. You start by saying, I need to invest something. And then you say, I need to scale that investment. And obviously it's much more deep and complicated than that. But if you can't invest anything, you're never going to be able to scale. You must invest. Most brick and mortar businesses will invest $20, $50, $100, $200, $500,000 in their business. Uber still hasn't made a profit. The florist that just opened up the street probably has planned that they won't start making a profit until year 2 or year 3. Restaurants may not make a profit until year 3, 5, and 10. And then they're going to start making a fortune. Franchises, you could spend $1 million on a franchise. So if you don't even have a few $100s, let alone a couple of $1,000s to invest in your business right now, then I would say go get a job so that you can get some money to buy yourself some time or some skill. And once you have 2 of these, the other one comes a bit easier. So there you go. Hope that's a practical advice for you. And sometimes it's a harsh truth, but that's just as simple as it is. You need leverage, and these 3 things are leverage. If you have none of them, you need a job.